Yo, you guys want to see something Zorz? Check it out.
Welcome back to Zorz Gaming.
You see how it doesn't say Zowie? This is pre-Zowie. This is an artifact that I have kept from 2013. Now they did send me the 400 and the 600, but they sure as hell didn't send me this because this doesn't even exist anymore. I bought it in 2013. The backstory is, I went to go live with my mom. My mom doesn't have a big enough desk to hold a gargantuan 90-pound CRT. 120 hertz LCDs were just terrible. They were unplayable to me. I don't even care if I'm playing Counter-Strike. If I'm even playing anything, I just couldn't handle it. And I started to do some research, and I found out that BenQ, their early models, they're 3D vision ready. Okay, see the 3D? Now we know that 3D went absolutely nowhere, but due to Chief Blurbuster, you know, praise him, from blurbusters.com, he created this thing called ToastDX strobe light utility, which could allow you to use NVIDIA's light boost made for 3D to create black frame insertion, right? So they were the first ones to do it, as far as I know, and I heard it was pretty good. So I bought this thing, I built a new computer. It's the first computer I built like myself. I was very proud of myself. And I was balling out the game, dude. I was playing Chivalry Medieval Warfare. Remember that shit? It was fun. There's their second one now. It's pretty good. Now, it's not their first model. Okay, their first model ever was the 2410. It was 2011, and maybe even 10. It was made with Counter-Strike professionals. They've been a Counter-Strike team organization from the beginning. Okay, they've been making monitors great again for 15 years. Basically. There's a reason why, like, I think 60% or more of Valorant and Counter-Strike professional players use the Zowie monitors. Because they're good. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it a long time. They're heavy in the esports community. They sponsor teams like the Sentinels. They've been involved with our community a long time. So you guys gotta understand how groundbreaking this was. For some of you, a little bit younger, you know, maybe you were, I don't know, 10 years old when in 2013, so you didn't know how bad LCDs really were. And this was like the very first playable one with the light boost and with the strobe light, you know, the utility. It was all right. It wasn't a CRT because it wasn't really until 2018 when the XL2546 came out. I think it was the 240 DyAc, the first one. That's when I was like, okay, and also my CRTs died. I had 2 Trinitrons, and they're at peace now. They suffered a long time, but you know, the XL2546 with DyAc 240 was close. And since then, I've had every monitor they've ever made. I actually like the 2746S, which was the 27-inch one. I know it had a lower pixel per inch, but I wasn't too worried about it. But this thing saw a lot of use. My dad used this thing like 5 years. And he was pretty happy about it. You know, at this point, I think it's damn near museum ready. I don't want to badmouth my mom, like on the whole internet, and she was being a good mom. Okay, Mom, I love you, Mom. But when I dropped out of high school to play Counter-Strike, you know, in 99, 2000, whenever it was, Counter-Strike, it was in beta. It wasn't a good decision, okay? Because at the time, we were kind of like a group of, like an outcast cadre of, you know, not the best social adaptability, and we weren't doing too hot back then. We kind of just congregated at the internet cafe and made friends with each other in our own little loser kingdom, and we were nerds, okay? And it wasn't lucrative. And my mom would say things like, "Is that what you're gonna do with your life? Play your stupid computer game?" But she loved me, and at the time it was a bad decision. But now we're cool, okay? See, back then you weren't getting laid. Now it's sexy. You know, we're sexy now. Now now we're an elite squadron of professional gamers. We got posters. I saw some shit in Korea. They were throwing panties at some of the StarCraft players. I really did see that. I don't know if it was real, but like, that's pretty cool, okay? See, now you drop out of high school and you can be like, I'm gonna be a professional esports player and make millions of dollars, mom. And what are you gonna do when you buy your mom a little BMW? She's not gonna be talking about stupid computer game. But anyways, no resentment, I'm over it. Zowie is heavy in this game, okay? And they might not have like the most bleeding edge technology, but they're tried and true and they push it to the limit. They're very focused, clearly. You know, the Counter-Strike, Valorant lineage is apparent and obvious. I mean, this monitor here was one small step for LCDs, but one giant leap for anti-motion blur. This one didn't have wings. Now we got wings. Who else has wings? In case you were wondering how the wings go on, you got these little plugs. They were in here. You kind of got to pry them out, and they're covered by tape. Very simple. This isn't rocket science. So you take the wing, you click it in. You kind of just, it's really simple. They slide in, you kind of match it, then you click it down, pops in, shield installed. So I want to quickly go over like the physical differences of the two monitors. They're not vastly different, but they're a little different. You never hear anybody say this, but in this case, smaller is better. The base is actually quite a bit smaller. So that gives you more room for a bigger mouse pad, especially if you're a low sense gamer like me. The thing that I like the most is the mechanism that goes up and down. I think it's a different, I don't know, bearing or some kind of thing, but it's a lot smoother. I pointed this out earlier in the unbox. You can even hear it. It's got a kind of a crunchy sound. That little hole doesn't exist. I mean, you could argue that this is a distraction. I mean, you're already trying to block out all the negativity and the light with the shields. Your opponent could be sitting over there, you know, giving you a dirty look or some sort of curse. Maybe a voodoo doll. He could be stabbing you, and now you won't see him. There's no hole. The bevels are thicker, kind of blocks out more. That you can tell from just looking up here that there's so much more cooling going on. This is a much more serious cooling because it's this big compared to the thinness of this guy. It's only this big. The back up here, oh, that's interesting. I'm just noticing, check this out. See how the back here stays. This doesn't move. This one moves. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, so it goes with you. So it's never like creating another distraction. You know, I remember that last monitor I reviewed that had a big reflective strip here. That's not something you want in a competition, you know? You're looking at your own damn face or some kind of light reflecting. I would say basically it's just a general improvement in every area. You have this part here. See if you can see this. It actually has numbers, like the amount of inches that you're up, so you can know exactly. Plus the tilting mechanism. I mean, these are really important things because you're not going to mount this if you're taking it to a tournament. It's got the standard headphone jack or headphone holder thing. I don't really use it, but it's nice to have. It's a much lighter, simpler solution. I can say, oh, I like my monitor 8 inches with this much tilt. And now I can recreate this everywhere you go. I mean, you guys know consistency is everything. That's why, like, as reviewers, I'm using a different mouse, different monitor, different mouse pad, which means I'm not gonna win. And if you're doing that, you should cancel your Discord subscription because you ain't winning shit. You gotta stay consistent. It's always gotta be similar. It's all muscle memory. How many inches to hit a guy over there, you know, even resolutions and size of screens, gotta stay consistent. What's most interesting to me from a technical standpoint, these vents are not playing. These are serious vents for a serious thing, which means they can probably produce more heat dissipation. You know what else I just noticed? It's got these little lines here, these little ridges, which I think give you even more, I'm just guessing, kind of an ability, like I know I want my mouse pad to end right here, and the keyboard comes here. I know this sounds ridiculous, you know? For regular gamers, it's a little ridiculous. But muscle memory and consistency is everything. You have to have the same exact environment height on a desk, which is why I always recommend a standing desk, so you can know exactly how high, have your feet placed. It's these little minor differences can make all the difference in the world. So anyway, those are the little visual differences, the physical differences. It's basically just better, just a little bit cleaner. And I think it looks kind of nicer. It looks more mature, more adult. This is the 360 DyAc. Everything's on default settings, okay? So to verify that, we're talking about FPS 1, DyAc Plus on premium, 67 brightness with a black equalizer of 5. So here's the UFO test, the famous UFO test at Blurbusters. Pretty clean. It's shots like that, that's what this monitor is built for. It's just, it's so clean, this thing. I mean, you know, these TN panels, right? They just feel closer to a CRT than anything else. Obviously, there's a tiny bit of, there's going to be a little bit of a light bleedish quality on any TN panel compared to an IPS or an OLED, but they just seem so smooth, you know. And I haven't played on the 480hz OLED yet, but the 360 OLED did not have the same level of smoothness as the 360 TN. So, I mean, this monitor was a real beast. When this thing came out, it was pretty much unquestionably the best monitor in the world for competitive gaming when it came out. All right, now let's check out the 400. We're gonna see exactly what's going on here. So I'm setting this up right now. Look what I'm seeing. I'm just catching their horizontal ports. Do you know how big a deal this is? This is enormous. Do you know how much time I've spent trying to vertically plug things in, about ready to lose my whole mind? Ugh, this is such a godsend. Seriously, this is huge. I get really frustrated with that stuff. I don't know, you know, you're like looking underneath and you got to put the cell phone light on. It's just, anyways, this is way cleaner, way easier. Hey, that's super cool. That means that I can take my S switch here and have the settings on here. Let's say I'm running to the tournament like Whiplash, that movie Whiplash, and I drop my monitor. Well, I got another monitor, bam. Put the S switch in, sync it up, and you all good to go. So the default settings here are 63 brightness with a 10 on the black equalizer. See, she's badass as a gangster, man. She's just, that's a serious woman, man. I don't even know if I could handle a woman like that. I mean, I like to believe that I can, but you know that Capone actually works for her. They don't talk about it, you know, because of the social constructs and the ingrained sexism in our society. But she's really the boss. Yeah, she told me, in fact. Now, I can already tell you just immediately that it feels, it feels less, more of like a concrete image, like much more. You know, and the motion blur feels less forced. I know I'm using real layman's terms, but it just feels cleaner. It's definitely more CRT-like than the 360. I have the 540, which is also DyAc2, and that is more like this. This is another iteration, the next iteration, the next generation. Oh no, this feels different, guys. You know, like when you look at a CRT, like this one over here, it feels like the image is not being displayed to you. It feels like you're inside the image. That's what's going on here. It feels like the black frame insertion is not as forced. Almost like when you push a car. I don't know if you guys are car guys, but you know when you push a car a little bit too hard and you're like, yeah, I definitely shouldn't be putting in, you know, this turbo with this intake and tuning it this aggressively. and it just feels like like it's pushing it beyond what it wants to do. Well, that's what the 360 feels like. And this feels like it was made to do it. The colors look even a little bit better. Pretty sure the brightness feels higher. It just feels like it's like a better engine. You know when you have I had a WRX that I modified and I took it to the max where I still felt comfortable. And this feels like I could even push it more. You know what I mean? It's got a better backbone on it. I'm getting 400 FPS pretty much constantly, which is something you need. When you're getting 360, 400, 540, you want to try to keep it at that number as much as possible to maximize the effect. But yeah, this is basically just awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. I didn't get play of the game though, that's not cool. Rigged. The election was rigged. I mean, even look at this screen here. This screen doesn't feel as flickery. That's what I'm trying to, it's more flickery, the 360, like it's struggling, you know? It's just bam. I mean, it's just definitely cleaner. It's smoother. You can see it. I mean, just look. And it's brighter, and the colors are better. I mean, that's literally just, all three of those things are true. Solid is what I would say, solid. Like solid, you know? That's too young for you guys. So these days, everybody has their own form of anti-motion blur, right? I was just playing on the Asus 360 with their ULMB2 ultra low motion blur, and it's good. It's good. It's an IPS panel. It's not this good, okay? Zowie knows how to do anti-motion blur. Their dyac is the best. They've used the TN panel for a decade doing this, and they've gotten really good at it. And now we have DyAc2, which I'm actually pleased to report that it's damn good, okay? Apparently it uses a dual backlight system. I was trying to figure out why is it so much better? Why does it feel so much more like a CRT? And apparently it uses this dual backlight system which simulates CRT-like movement. And it works, and the eye strain feels better. And I'm so glad too, because I was paid to say it works even if it didn't work, but I'm grateful it actually works so I don't have to lie. I mean, everything about this thing, the smoothness, the eye strain, the colors, the brightness, the 40 more hertz, it's just overall, it's just better. And there's also a utility, which I'm not even gonna talk about right now. Okay, fine, I'm gonna talk about it. It's called the Strobe utility. It's made by Blurbusters. There's a utility where you can actually control how much anti-motion blur you want and then you sacrifice brightness. And I personally love it, but I'm not gonna get into all the settings. Otherwise, we'll be here for an hour. If you want a settings video, leave it in the comments that you wanted and I'll make one, because it can get pretty technical. There's also like the overshoot, and there's, you know, the different levels of, you can even customize that. There's so many customizable options on this thing. Also, it doesn't hit the display stream compression limiter, you know, with DisplayPort 1.4, you still have the bandwidth. So that's another pro. On top of that, you have the color vibrance, very easy setting. You can use that to even cheat more, you know, not cheat, but you can make it even more like, you know, stand out, have the enemies stand out. And then Zowie was the first one to come up with black equalizer, which is basically just hacks. Frankly, I think it's hacking. I don't even know how. It's apparently tournament legal, which surprised me, to be honestly, because it's kind of hack Zorz, dude. You could just make the dark things bright, you know, because this isn't about an immersive, beautiful experience with shadows and, oh, look at the nice, you know, monster come out of the shadow. This is about winning, okay? This is about seeing a guy in the shadows camping like a little bitch, okay, and then killing him. Halt, sinners!
Halt, sinners!
Spider, look out!
Who the was that? You don't want to know.
Another cool thing that Zowie has, the software, which I just found out about, is called XL Settings to Share, where you can actually like import the settings of whomever, including pros. So, you know, for funsies, you can load up the best Counter-Strike player's profile in the world and see how they have it set up, which is pretty Zorz. I mean, back in my day, I had a config file. You guys remember config files in Counter-Strike? And mine was on a floppy disk. And people tried to steal it, and there was consequences, big ones. Is it gonna make you play like the guy that you're putting a profile in? No, not at all. You're still gonna suck, but at least you'll know what the goal is, what you're going for. If you compare it to other options in the price range, right? You have like the Asus 360 27-inch with ULMB2, great monitor for overall use. You have the 4K OLEDs, which are beautiful, you know, maybe 144 hertz, even 240 hertz. I don't know about for this price. And then you have the Alienware that I reviewed a year ago, the widescreen. They're all different beasts for different goals. You know, frankly, if you like to play a little single player, then and you can afford it, you know, maybe get two. Get one beautiful OLED, very nice, and then get this one. Because while OLEDs are very fast and people, you know, tout their refresh rate and you know, great response times and all this, it's not the same. It's not anti-motion blur, and OLEDs don't really have that going on just quite yet. $650 on a 25-inch TN panel in 2025. Big ask, big. You know, TN, we all know TN has its downsides, limitations. If you're wondering, do I need this because I like to play Hollow Knight once in a while? No, you don't need this. So who's this for, right? It's not for everybody. I would say that for the aspiring esports player, the one who wants to be the best in the world, this is a perfect choice, perfect. If you're already pro, you're probably gonna be playing on the 600 hertz, which I also have. They sent that to me and I'm gonna review that next. But that's a whole nother thing, because that requires a computer that gets 600 frames, which means you're overclocking your RAM like a mad scientist, and it's out of reach. I don't even get 600 frames. On Zorz III doesn't get 600 frames. So it's a tough ask. And also it's another $400. It's you know, this is a perfect middle ground where you can still enjoy the competitive games, get 400 frames, Valorant, Overwatch, Rainbow Six, you know, a lot of other titles, and still have fun. Guys, listen. I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. I don't care, even if you try ULMB2. You shouldn't if you want to have the best anti-motion blur. But no matter what, you young guys out there, you guys, you know, 25 and under, means you probably never played on a high-end CRT, then you don't really know what anti-motion blur really is. You don't even know. It's not the OLED, that's even the 360 OLED. I haven't tried the 480, but it's not that. Buy one of these. They have a 30-day return policy. Just try it. If you play Valorant and Overwatch and you're trying to be in the top 500 and you don't have one of these things, you have to try it. Oh, you owe it to yourself. Because once you go anti-motion blur, you never go back. Trust me. And also, you can return it if you want to go back. It's a 30-day return policy. Or if you like to play a little single player, but you can't afford two monitors, it's a great choice because the colors are good enough and it feels clean enough to enjoy single player games on it. You know, and not, maybe if you're like an 80-20 guy, you like to play a little Clair Obscura, you like to play a little Titan's Quest 2, which I really like. Also, has anyone played Peak? I've been streaming this thing. You should come hang out with me. It's hilarious. You climb a mountain with your homies and you can like drop them to their death. It's hysterical. You should come check it out. I dropped my homie the other day. He went tumbling down the mountain. We laughed for 10 minutes. I don't know if he's my friend anymore, but it was funny. You know, I have to say, it means a lot to me that Zowie contacted me. It means a lot. It was really nice. And you guys resurrected the channel. I mean, Zowie basically resurrected my channel, and I'm forever appreciative of it. And Marcus, thank you. Extra thanks to Marcus. And I'm sure you're in the gym going f***ing hard, and that's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, look, I hope this video gave you some insight on what monitor's best to pick that's Zorz for you. And stay tuned, because we got a lot more coming here on Zorz Gaming. I'm angry again. That's the problem with this thing, because I mean, it's got such, I actually went up, I won 7 games in a row because of this thing. And then I start losing because of other people. And then you get mad. It's dangerous for your mental health. Okay, you might just go nuts because some goddamn idiot won't heal you. Why are you not healing me? Why are you not shooting the healers? Shoot the healers! You right there, you
Get some.